Hey everyone, Michael Bodner here with another Tesla Tunity, and today I've got a video that I wish I never had to make. Last night I was driving the Model 3 and got hit by a driver running a stop sign, and to make matters worse, it was actually my wife's Model 3, not even my car. I feel horrible. Let me show you the damage and walk you through what happened, so come along with me. Alright, well before I show you the damage, I want to just walk you through what happened with the car accident and kind of speak to whether or not technology should have helped me in any way. So first of all, what I've got up on the screen is a map courtesy of Google Maps. I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened, but before I do, I want to make this a ringing endorsement to establish your dash cam in your Tesla if it's available for the model that you have. It is too inexpensive not to. If you haven't set it up, there's a link up in the top right corner, getting ready for Tesla version 9. That'll take you to my video, but I also have all the parts in the description down below. My wife's Model 3 did not have the dash cam set up, so instead of having footage, I have a depiction for you of what happened. I am thankful that the driver of the other car did admit fault, admitted to not seeing the stop sign. I'm about to show you exactly what happened. So let's walk through it. I came up to a stop sign. You can see my car as the red arrow, and I'm going to be making a left-hand turn. The cross street from the right and from the left does not have a stop, but the other direction head-on from me does have a stop, so it's a two-way stop. This happened at nighttime. There were no cars around. So I get to the stop sign. I'm all clear. Start making my left-hand turn. As I'm approaching the median, I'm continuing to move forward. Of course, I'm just double checking to the right that no one's coming, and no one is, so I keep going kind of in a smooth, steady motion to the left, and out of nowhere, a car comes through the stop sign from the other side, and no alarms, no alerts in the car. I don't think it possibly could. It happened way too fast being head on, so I have no expectation that forward collision warning or anything of nature of technology in the car should have helped me and taken over and stopped. I jammed on the brakes immediately and tried to veer back to the right. I remember in my head this happening in slow motion, thinking, please don't hit me, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. And sure enough, the car basically drove right through the front quarter panel of my car, ripping through the bumper. And they carried on through and ended up through the intersection and came to a stop over by the sidewalk, basically behind where I started in the depiction here. Got out and looked at the car, and of course I immediately sunk in, and I felt horrible that this happened to my wife's car and not mine. And I was out driving it just because mine was in the garage already charging, so it was more convenient to take her car. But I got out of the car, walked over to the other driver, asked how she was doing, and her first question of me was, what happened? Okay. Maybe she was nervous or afraid. Thought maybe she wasn't from around the area and got confused. It's a little dark out. Turns out she lives just a couple streets over from me, so this should have been a very comfortable area for her, a very normal place to drive. The police came on the scene. And again, I had realized, actually my first instinct right after the accident was to press the save button on the dash cam. And then I, of course, came to the realization that we never set it up in my wife's car. And I started to get nervous, like what would she say to the police officer? And she was very truthful and forthcoming when the police officer came, and she admitted to not seeing the stop sign and driving right through the intersection. So again, with no dash cam footage, it's my word versus her word. There were no eyewitnesses, no cars around. This happened at night in the dark. No one could see anything. And she easily could have said something different. She could have said that I ran the stop sign. I saw her coming and went anyway. Any number of things. But she was honest. A lot of people aren't. And her husband actually showed up, and she had called her husband, and because they live so close, he was there. Just literally a minute or two later, he beat the police I was worried maybe he would coach her on what to say when the police arrived, and he was very nice. He made sure I was okay. So fortunately, neither of us were hurt. I'll walk you through the damage on my car. For her car, because she kind of drove through my car, and I tried my best to veer away and slam on the brakes. She took on damage basically down both doors on the driver's side of the car. But let's go ahead and move over to the damage to the car. All right, so you can see the lower portion of the bumper basically is split in half, really. When you get over to the fog light assembly and just below the bumper, all the clips are pretty much gone. You can see everything kind of pushes in. Everything is functional, though, from a lighting perspective. You can see the headlight cracked. I can basically stick my finger through the headlight, and the piece that cracked off actually landed inside the headlight. Headlight itself is pretty loose right now, and the front bumper is pretty loose and kind of separating from the wheel well area. A lot of scuffs, a lot of superficial damage, and fortunately, on the surface, it looks to be limited to the front bumper and the headlight. There's no damage to the wheels. Everything else looks okay. The only thing I noticed driving away was the driving of the car was fine. When I went to make a U-turn after the accident, I heard some sounds coming from the front left, so probably the wheel well being pushed in was rubbing on the tire. But all said, I'm very fortunate to have gotten away without injury. My back was a little sore, but that was it. Actually, give myself some props for having some good reaction time and jamming on the brakes and kind of veering back to the right. Had I not done that, this would have been basically a true head-on collision, and damage and injury would have probably been worse for both accounts. So that's it. That's all I've got for you on this one. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got the logo up on the screen right now. You can click on that to subscribe. And I'll be following up with you all on the repair process, what you can expect, and how long it takes to get parts, and we'll see where it goes from here. So again, I hate having a video like this, but we'll catch you on the next one, everyone. Bye.